Okay, so this is my final video in the diabetes series. I'm going to go over pretty much everything I've gone over in each other video, kind of condense it into this finale, if you will, for the diabetes series. From here I'm going to go on to a series on the liver and then into mental illness, so please subscribe and watch the other diabetes videos that I have posted. Okay, so I'm going to go again left to right primarily. And I'm going to kind of end the video with auto-hypnosis meditation, and then I'm going to go over the food. I'm going to kind of go a little out of order along the top here. But let's just go left to right in regards to everything else on the board. Okay, as you can see here, I've got pretty much all the vitamins and minerals, and then some hormones and, you know, a few other things like sulfur and CoQ10 on the board. So these are all the vitamins and minerals and everything else I found critical for proper carbohydrate digestion and being able to turn glucose into energy or ATP. So let's just walk through it. The RDAs here are in blue. I hope you can read them. And we'll start with ATP. Again, ATP happens in the mitochondria. It's where we take glucose and completely break it down into our energy, which is adenosine triphosphate. We need niacin, thiamine, pantothenic acid, riboflavin, biotin, CoQ10, phosphorus, iron, copper, sulfur, the thyroid hormones T4 and or T3, protein, water, and oxygen. Now here, everything I've circled in green are the RDAs that I have not been able to find. Some are non-applicable, like the hormones, and some I couldn't find. So anyways, with the thyroid hormone is used to convert glucose into ATP. Now to make the thyroid hormones T4 and T3, we're going to need protein, vitamin C, niacin, vanadium, which is a trace mineral, iodine, selenium, zinc, iron, progesterone and cortisone. Now those are two cholesterol-based hormones, and glutathione, which is a tripeptide antioxidant. So again, we need the thyroid hormone to break glucose into ATP. This happens in the mitochondria, and we also really want to focus on making sure we're producing enough red blood cells and healthy red blood cells, because it's the red blood cells that use glucose exclusively for an energy source. They really help pull glucose out of our bloodstream for us. So the vitamins and minerals I found to make red blood cells include B12, folate, vitamin C, magnesium, and vitamin E. Now I have pH up here because pH is critical for proper function. The enzymes and all the chemistry that is necessary for us to function properly require a very critical pH. So to kind of deviate one side or the other of their optimum pH can really downgrade the performance of the enzymes and the function of the enzymes. Because remember, enzymes, which are protein, are really behind all of this. It's proper folding of these proteins and enzymes that are critical for their function. So anyway, so I have pH as kind of a critical factor for glucose metabolism and carbohydrate processing. And chloride and phosphorus are critical for us to have a proper pH. And in my opinion, I believe that all the minerals are pretty critical. Both the trace and the major minerals are pretty essential for maintaining an optimum pH. That's why I have pH on the board. And then again, insulin. This I went over in part 5, a cause for low blood insulin. So insulin is a hormone that's released from the pancreas that has a pH of about 7.8. And it's a protein. It's a peptide hormone. So we're going to need protein. We're going to need potassium, calcium. And for calcium to get where it needs to go in the body, we're going to have enough vitamin D and enough vitamin K2. We also need phosphorus. And for insulin to function correctly, to kind of fold correctly, we're going to need chromium for that. And then again, ATP. ATP is critical for insulin to be released into the bloodstream. So as you can see, all the vitamins and minerals that we need to make ATP is also relevant for us to properly release insulin into the bloodstream. Again, we have the RDA up here, and I'm going to leave a link to a .gov page that lists both the RDAs for all these vitamins and minerals I have up here, as well as foods that are going to have all these vitamins and minerals. And the vitamins and minerals that are not listed on that link, like CoQ10 and Sulfur. There's a couple of others up here. I'll also leave a few foods that you can find, these antioxidants in, like glutathione and CoQ10, as well as my own supplements that I would recommend, and some of my own foods that I would recommend that people eat on a regular basis to maintain health. Okay, so let's move on into auto-hypnosis. Now, auto-hypnosis is a way for us to kind of program ourselves, and the best times of day to do that are at the end of the day and the beginning of the day. Now, at these times of the day, our brains produce higher amounts of theta waves, and it's these theta waves that allow us to be susceptible to suggestion. So, auto-hypnosis is prime for these periods in the day. And the way to program yourself is to create an aphorism and repeat that aphorism. And always start the aphorism with I am. So I am normalizing my blood sugar. I am recovering from diabetes. I am improving my health. And again, at the end of the day and the beginning of the day. So as you're falling asleep, I am normalizing my blood sugar. I am overcoming diabetes. And then after a while, you'll start being drawn toward the things that fulfill that request. So auto-hypnosis is a very valuable tool to pretty much overcome diabetes, any disease that you may suffer from, as well as anything that you want to achieve in life, or anything that you want to kind of bring into your life. Auto-hypnosis is a great tool to add to getting those things that you want in life. So I would suggest auto-hypnosis as a way to kind of direct yourself and your subconscious into improving your diet to overcome diabetes. And again, meditation here. So meditation is a great way for our minds to kind of connect to our body. I feel like most of us, including myself, can feel pretty disconnected from our own bodies through most of the day. Our awareness is often being projected outward, and meditation is a way to allow us to kind of reconnect with ourselves and reconnect with our bodies and kind of improve our tuition. Now, auto-hypnosis is not part of meditation. Meditation is more about clearing the mind and focusing on the breath and just kind of quieting the mind and letting the connection kind of be established between your body and your mind. So what I would recommend, if you're new to meditation, to find a time during the day where you can do it every day at that time, to sit quietly with a straight spine, close your eyes, and just focus on your breath for about 5 to 10 minutes. And try to do that regularly at the same time on a relatively empty stomach, and just see where that goes. So just sit quietly with an erect spine, close your eyes in a quiet place, and just focus on your breath. And just see how that feels over time. Okay, and finally the food. So I'm not going to go over all the food that I have listed here because it's just pretty cumbersome, but I will again leave the link to this food, all these foods, in the description box below, as in that webpage is also going to give you the RDAs for all the vitamins and minerals I have on the board. It's a .gov page, but a couple of other things I want to bring up with food is to avoid artificial ingredients. They have a way of kind of interfering with our natural biochemistry, so it's really important to avoid artificial ingredients as much as possible. And try to eat at the same time every day. Just like meditation, if you meditate at the same time every day, say you meditate at 4 o'clock, over a period of time, at about 4 o'clock, will automatically enter a meditative state. I mean, you know, your chemistry will set itself into a state of meditation. And I do believe that there's something to that in regards to eating at the same time every day. So your kind of body will get used to knowing, oh, I'm going to be eating at this time. So it gets kind of ready to start processing food. Drink water. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water. Dehydration is a very easy thing to develop if you're not conscious of how much water you drink. Plan your meals ahead. You want to kind of set yourself up for the best possible outcome every week by kind of shopping maybe on one day for the week, and then planning all your food and doing all your cooking before the week begins. So you kind of have everything lined up, and you kind of know what you're going to be eating. And that also allows your body to kind of, in a way, know what it's going to be eating every day for the week. So planning your meals, try to eat at the same times every day. I would avoid snacking if possible. I just think that kind of keeping your metabolism constantly having to work could have some drawbacks. So I would recommend trying to eat at the same time every day and limit snacking. And then in closing, like, you want to chew your food. I went over the proper digestion of carbohydrates, and digestion for carbohydrates really starts in the mouth. We release alpha amylase from the salivary glands. So you really want to be making sure that you take the time to chew your food. And you can watch that video if you want, and it goes over how we actually break down and then digest carbohydrates. So you want to be chewing your food. Anyways, I hope this has been helpful. I encourage you to watch the other diabetes videos in my series and subscribe. From here, I'm going to go into a series on proper liver function and everything that has to do with liver. And then from there, I'm going to go into a series on mental illness and ways to kind of overcome mental illness through dietary changes and supplementation. So I hope this has been helpful, and best of luck.